Hello, hello. So today, as the title says, I will be pulling for Venti. I have been waiting for this for a while, and well, when I did start playing before when Venti's first banner was running, but at the time, of course, everyone was starting the game for the first time, and like everyone, I didn't have many Primo Gems. And as somebody who was at the time free to play, I don't think I even bought the Welkin Moon until at least a couple of weeks into playing. So I think I really was legit free to play. Because of that, I didn't really have many pulls, and I didn't pull for Venti because I was saving up for Jean, who, as you can see, I still don't have her, and I still don't have Venti. So for that reason, I figured I would love to get Venti. He is a god, literally, and a godlike character in terms of the game's meta, or however you want to call it. And I have lots of Primo Gems saved up, so that's I. Well, the thing is, I want to have Primo Gems saved up so that I can guarantee myself a Jean when she comes out on a banner, which means I want to have at least 180 pulls, which I believe is 28,800 Primo Gems. And I have more than that. That said, would like to get her at least C1, which requires more Primo Gems than I have, which would be something like 57,600 Primo Gems you would need. But given that Jean probably won't be coming out for a while, I'm willing to save. But anyway, also in terms of my 4 stars, you can see I have every single 4 stars in the game except one, and he just happens to be on Radab with Venti. So my hope is that I'll get at least one copy of him. My Sucrose is C3, I believe. Let me actually check. It's either C3 or C4. C3. So I'd love to get 1 to 3 more copies of her. And my Noelle, actually recently pulled a copy of her, and so she's C2. Actually, what's it? Decrease the stamina consumption. Oh, wow. Okay. Her charged attack is a spin to win, which frankly isn't all that great, but that's not bad. I guess the C2 is ultimately not all that useful. Now, don't have a I don't have a ritual that I do. But I thought, how did I get that Primo Gem? I'm not sure where that Primo Gem came from. But anyway, I don't have a ritual. Now, of course, when it comes to Venti, he is the god of Mondstadt, so to speak. So I figured I want to be in Mondstadt. And now, the main place that you think of when it comes to Mondstadt is the statue, right? But I thought I'd do something a little different. Oh, hello, Nat. Thank you for coming by. Good evening. I hope you've had a good start to your week so far. As you can see, I just started. I haven't done any pulls, but I wanted to get to my position for actually doing my pulls. Drink wine. Yeah, so I actually do have some wine, but I decided I need to. So this won't be a very long stream. I'll really only do some pulls and maybe a little bit of farming because I actually have to get back to work in about an hour. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. So I decided wine's probably not a good idea. At least not in quantities that would tempt Venti, which we all know is quite a lot. Instead, I decided to go to Starbucks and get myself a Venti matcha green tea latte, which is very green and very venti. And I think that's a. Ooh, I should have just teleported here. And I figured that's a pretty good, how do you say, catalyst for getting venti. You'll need sleep early today? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm glad it worked out. Thank you for coming by again. Yeah, I really do appreciate it. But I thought, well, Venti is an alcoholic. We all know that. Diona is an anti-alcoholic, but she is a great bartender. And we all know that Venti would absolutely hate it if Diona died. So I thought it would be nice to try to tempt him back by trying to sacrifice Diona. No, that doesn't work. That- So I don't want Diona to glide. I want her to fall, so let's do this. Whoops. Okay, that was a little premature, but I'm no stranger to premature things, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, that's something I'm quite used to. So let's say Diona is just hanging out here. She's looking over here, which is the direction where the Dawn Winery is, and she's like feeling very angry. And she's gotten all distracted, and so she slips and falls. Oh no, no, no! And then, now, it's time for Venti to come and save the day because he is the god of the wind and he can save her. Right? Did I saw? I don't. I'm not sure if I saw all the leaks. I saw some of the leaks, definitely. I the stuff you showed me, they were super. I mean, Eula, or as I like to call her, end user license agreement, looks very sexy. I like the corset design. The other girl, she looks quite cute, and the attacks, they looked very nice. She almost looked like an archer the way she spins around with her catalyst. It was pretty neat. But I don't know if there was anything else other than that. I know that the official Twitter account for MiHoYo actually posted about leaks saying we noticed them and we're gonna do a better job locking them down or whatever. We'll see. But yeah, so anyway, like I said earlier, I have C3 Sucrose, C2 Noel, and C -1 Razor. So Razor would be the one that I'd want the most. And and I guess between Noel and Sucrose, I'm not sure who I'd want. Maybe more Noels would be nice, but I'd be happy with either. New boss, new artifacts. Chi-Chi dungeon. I didn't know about the Chi-Chi dungeon. I did hear something about a new boss that those two new characters would require a new world boss drop, kind of like how Hu Tao and Zhao required the Geovisha boss drop. Yeah, it really is almost the perfect 4-star banner. It's definitely very good. So I'm just gonna double check, but I believe I'm 51 into pity, which would mean Ganyu is here. Yep. So that's 3 plus 48, 51. So what I'm gonna do is do 2 10 pulls and then start doing 1 pulls because at that point I'll be getting into soft pity. And the ideal is that I get Gene, and if I do get Gene, then I'm gonna pull again until I get Venti. That's just what's gonna happen. But if I don't get Gene and I get spooked by another 5-star, then I'm gonna stop there and then wait until the end of Venti's banner. And if I do get Venti, then I'll also stop there. Yeah, because that way I have a 50-50 for child. Yeah, 3 Sucrose, 1 Razor, and an Animo 5-star. Thank you. I hope so too. Let's see. Let's find out. So here's my first 10 pull. It's been a while since I've done 10 pulls. Yeah, I'm excited. I've been waiting for this banner for so long. Let's see what we got. If I get Venti on my first pull, 10 pull, that would be... Oh! It's the 5-star! Oh my goodness, it's a 5-star! Who's it gonna be? Is it a... I did not expect that. Holy cow. Okay. First one. Okay, it's official spook. Interesting. I don't mind that. That's C5 official. Okay. C5 official. That's number 3. Oh boy. So that's... Yep, number 3. Yes! He's here! I got him! Wow! Venti came on my 4th pull! That... Yeah, I didn't even need soft pit. Holy cow! Oh my goodness, this throws a wrench into my plans now. Because, well, first of all, my 5-star pity is reset. I... The worry is, if I keep pulling, I might get a 5-star spook. Which would mean that the next 5... Then if I start pulling on Child's banner, then I'm guaranteed a child, which I don't want. Yeah, still at least 260 rolls for Jean. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, let's see what the rest of this temple has. If the rest of this temple is 3 stars, I'm fine with that. That's perfectly okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. I, I, I don't know. I'm speechless. This is not not at all what I expected. Yeah, this how okay. There it is. Wow. Um okay, so I wanted another copy of Sucrose and I wanted another copy of Noel and I wanted my first copy of Razor. I still might pull on this banner, but I think I'll stop on the pulling for today. Oh my, what? I just did 110 pull and I got him. Uh, What you'll do with your prima? Wait, yeah, actually, I'm not sure. Are you? I know you already have child. Are you? I don't think you're pulling for Venti, right? And well, no, you want Rosaria, just say. Oh, not spending any. Yeah, you'll just be hoarding them, just like I have been. I mean, more power to you. I think that's a good thing. That's why I do it. There he is, the the Wind Boy slash old man or old god. All right, now I'm gonna start leveling him up as much as I can, which is not gonna be much. And let me actually just check. Oh, because I got a 5 star, I can buy this. Yeah. Oh, you're not. So you're not gonna be spending until at least Rosaria then, unless you mean Eula or. There are a lot of nice light ice ladies, huh? You're right about the cryo supremacy. There's, obviously Ganyu and Rosaria and Eula and Ayaka. So I can do a quaint fate pull, but I'm actually just gonna. So I still have 275 pulls left. But like I said, I won't be spending that today. And all right, now can we actually save Diona? Let's try it. But first, let me try pulling on this with the free acquaint fate, or it wasn't free that I purchased. Yeah, too many ice waifus. Ah, nope. Wow, I guess yeah, this worked. Venti heard my call. Oh no, but I guess he just got too drunk, and Diona still fell to her death anyway. Poor Diona, and poor Venti. He's gonna be losing out on some nice alcoholic drinks that Diona could have made him. But I think there's something to this catalyst. I'm gonna have to use it again next time I pull. So cool. Actually, I wonder, I don't think anyone that I follow, any streamer that I watch, uses Venti while in Korean mode. So I don't really know much about how he sounds in Korean. What I want to hear his version of the Korean version of "Wouldn't gliding be faster?" He just said, "I'm fast, aren't I?" Same thing again. Hmm. Which bow will I give him? Good question. I think I might give him the stringless, which is currently equipped by Fischl. Yeah, compound bow's not good on him. Huh, sacrificial might be good. Favonius isn't good on him. Yeah, overall the stringless seems like the best bet. And give Fischl something else, like maybe Rust. I could build her as more of a DPS maybe, or I could give her a 3-star bow. But I think the stringless would be the best for him right now. Sacrificial is good for a support Venti? Okay, yeah, I could see that. I might try experimenting with both, because of course Sacrificial can give him 2 E's in a row, which is quite nice. Alright. Sorry, let me just do some modding. Actually, hmm. Okay, I think that worked. Yeah, stringless is good for support slash DPS Venti. Okay. Well, let me just start by leveling him up, which again, as I said earlier, I doubt I can get him up very far, but I'll try. And I'll be spending all the resin that I have right now to ascend him as much as possible, which will involve possibly fighting what's her name? Beth, I think. Yeah, Beth, which is the name of the oh Animo hypostasis. And I might oh yeah. I'm also probably gonna need a lot more Mora. Go, let's ascend him. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need a lot more Mora. I would also love more Mona too, to be honest. Yeah, do I have enough Animo items? Let's see. So I have 13 of these, which is certainly not enough to get him up to 70, but it can get him up some amount. So, not sure. Oh, official, right. I need to use the consolation. So all that does is give her an extra 3 levels. So one step closer to getting C6 official. Yeah, I guess once I get her C6 too, she can, I mean, she's already very good for me, but I could build her as a DPS with Rust. Because I've mainly been using her as support, using the stringless. But since I want to give her bow to Venti, maybe I could give her Rust and use use her as a DPS. Mora hell again. You only have 500k Mora left. Hey, I started this stream with less than 200k Mora, so I mean, I hear you. It is like that. You, but yeah. By the way, have you started doing any of the date events? I actually haven't touched them at all. I wanted to do them on stream. Or at least I wanted to do the first one on stream. I've already unlocked my first date, but I haven't started the quest at all. And I'm sure you can probably guess which one I chose as my first one. Also, where's... Yeah. Finished Noelle and Barbara date this... Oh, nice. See, you're a man of culture as well. Yeah, I'm definitely starting with those two. But of course, I gotta go for my girl Noelle. And I think Noelle will probably... I'll try to build her anyway, even though I didn't get any more copies of her today. I'm not unhappy about getting Fischl. Not at all, but I really would have rather gotten one of the banner 4 stars. Yeah. Oh, you prefer Barbara? Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely more of a Noelle person. Partly it's because we haven't really seen Noelle much in this... we haven't seen her at all in the story. We've seen references to her here and there. So I'm really curious about seeing her in person. And let's try taking this team. This team should be able to handle it just because Beto's strong enough. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, so yeah, I love that about both Venti and Jean. Obviously, I don't have Jean, but I've seen it where if you use Jean's charge attack, it makes them fall extra slowly. Try to hit the 4-star pity if you get no. That's not a bad idea actually, because because it's not going to take that many more pulls to hit 4-star pity because Venti came quite early, and the risk of getting spooked at that point. If I get spooked by another 5-star in the first 7 pulls, that's not really a bad thing at all. Ah, shit. That got the timing way off. Alright, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be at the Viridescent domain for a while in the near future. Yeah, I need another 3 rolls. Yeah, I think so. Actually, yeah, you're right. So the odds of me getting another 5-star at that point is very minuscule. But we did see what happened to Wavemaster, right? So there's a there's a chance. But hey, if I end up getting 3 copies of Venti on the next, or obviously that won't happen because I'm not going to be doing a 10 pull. But if I end up getting more 5-stars, I'm not going to complain. That's a good thing. You know. Jeez, I still can't believe it. Wow, Venti in the 4th pull. That means I was 51 from my last 5-star, which means it was my 55th pull into pity. Yeah, my Barbara will get a new set. I hope so, because my maiden sets have been pretty mediocre so far. I'm still looking for those flat HP plus HP percentage, maybe a healing bonus on the circlet set. Although I'm not sure if healing bonus is better or HP percentage is better on the circlet, but they both work. Or maybe Bennett. Yeah, because I do mainly play my Bennett as a healer. That's true. He is actually probably my best healer at I can't talk. He is probably my best healer right now. So I think if I get a good maiden set, I'll probably want to put it on Barbara or Diona because I feel pretty happy with how well my Bennett is healing. It's Diona and Barbara. Mainly Diona, to be honest. Barbara is solid as a healer, even though she falls behind Bennett for me a bit. But I think increasing one of their healing by a lot so that they catch up to Bennett or get close to him would be good for me. Because for the Spiral Abyss, of course, you need 2 teams, and I want to have healers on both teams. I did watch a video on YouTube that showed this guy doing a perfect counter to every single regular enemy in the game. And he showed us how to do it for every single enemy, for every single attack that they have. And that included Electro Slimes, which I thought was amusing. Because of course, doing a perfect counter against an Electro Slime doesn't do shit. At least against the Electro Slimes. Near side, they're good enough as healer without buff, so you give them Noblesse. Okay. Right, so actually, let me try using Venti's for the attack bonus. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think you said you have Noblesse at least on your Bennett, right? And it sounds like you have it on your other healers too. Yeah, that's really good. It's kind of like how on my Barbara I give her the Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayer, because that gives that's a free almost 50% attack buff. And yeah, Noblesse, now that I think about it, is a very good set, huh, for supports as well as DPS. If you're using a DPS who relies on their burst, kind of like I think Ningguang is more of a burst. Yeah, a burst character. Should give the same to my Diona. You do not have time to farm the dungeon. Yeah, right. Or you don't have resin, right? It's just you gotta how do you say prioritize. Okay, so actually, it occurs to me I did way too many rituals that I don't know which ritual is the winner. Is it because I got a Venti from Starbucks, or is it because I tried to kill Diona? Not sure. Maybe it's the Venti. Anyway, let's give him this for now. I'll have to remember to put a better bow onto Official when I use her. And for now, since I don't really have a set, your opinion about Hu Tao artifact farming? Oh yeah, you said it's kind of hell to farm her because you need crit rate, crit damage, and HP percentage, right? Versus like a regular DPS, you want crit rate and crit damage. But I think Hu Tao, the nice thing is she's kind of flexible, right? Because she can. Oh, and elemental mastery. Oh, right. Is it for like melt or vaporize comp kind of things? Yeah, I feel like Hu Tao you can be a little flexible though because she hits so damn hard regardless. Even if you don't have her built in the perfect way. Let's see, for this, do you want elemental mastery maybe? Yeah. I guess I can just give him some generic decent 4P not 4 piece, just decent artifacts. So this one 5-star artifacts. This one maybe elemental no, energy recharge might be good. Yeah, just give him some generic artifacts for some. Okay, and today is Ballad Day as well, so I guess I couldn't farm those, but I don't care about leveling up the first skill. And I believe the third skill is the most important one, at least for the way I want to use him. Yeah, because you have 180 elemental mastery, 30% to your vaporized reaction. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, to be honest, I don't really have a sense for how the elemental mastery scales the reactions. But yeah, I know if you're using a character who creates reactions, it's good to have a lot of elemental mastery. And so I know that Venti being a support who does a lot of swirls, its elemental mastery is a good important stat on him. Okay, I'm gonna have to do more leyline runs. In that case. Oh, that makes sense. It's better than attack because that 30% buff, getting a 30% attack buff is really hard, right? But getting some extra elemental mastery to match the equivalent of that to give you that 30% buff is a lot easier. Okay. Yeah, so you kind of want to it sounds like because it's really hard to just go all in on one stat, I guess, that by getting a lot of different stats, including elemental mastery, and because of how you use those characters. Huh. That's interesting. So Venti holds the bow like this. Okay. That's what you get from being, what, level 40? Facing these level 87 enemies. Do not know if I should try to get EM or HP on Hu Tao, for example. I see. Yeah, it also depends a lot on how you want to use her, right? So, ooh, that was way late. So my guess would be if you're doing a lot of those vaporize reactions, which it sounds like you are, maybe elemental reaction is the way to go. But if you kind of want to just have her use her E and then, yeah, without necessarily, I guess if you give her HP, I guess one of the advantages of giving her more HP is also that she's more tanky. Because if she has like 30,000 HP, max HP, then even at 50% HP, she has 15,000, which is almost as much as a lot of regular servants have at max health. So you can kind of do lots of damage with her. Yeah. HP Hourglass gives 60% on Hu Tao. It's something like 8,000 HP, so 500 attack bonus. I see. And your your base attack stat is what, probably like 2,000 or 1,500 in that range. EM Hourglass gives 30% vaporize buff. Yeah, that might require some experimentation. Oh, hello J6. Thank you for coming by. How many? Just the one. Just the one. Yeah, so I was 51 into pity, and I decided I'd do 2 10 pulls and then start doing singles in order to uh because after 2 10 pulls I'd be at 71, right? And then I'd be running into soft pity. But I got Venti on my very first 10 pull. I don't think the history will appear quite yet. Yeah, yeah, it's not gonna appear, but so yeah, on the first 10 pull, the third pull was official spook, which I didn't mind, and then the fourth pull was Venti. You rolled 2 multi and 2 singles. Oh, you're at 70 pity. Okay, so yeah, if you want Venti, that means you have a very good shot of getting him, right? I don't know if your next 5 stars the 50/50 or the guaranteed, but uh, either way, you have a good shot because you're almost definitely going to get at least 20 pulls over the next 3 weeks, right? Alright, I'm going to change my... Okay. You're not rolling? Oh, you're going to save? Okay. Yeah, I don't remember. Is there somebody you're saving for? Because, of course, Child is coming next, along with Rosaria. Personally, Rosaria is the one I really want in that. Okay, Venti, let's see how you can do. Alright, very little damage, but he will stun you, regardless. Okay, is there any... Okay, let's try this. Set it on fire. Yeah, oh, you want Child. Okay, good. And is the next one going to be 50/50, or is it the guaranteed? Again, either way, you have a pretty good shot. Between 50% and 100. Oh, you don't know? Well, what's the last 5-star you got on the character banner? Kaching? And were you pulling for Kaching? Was it on her banner or was it a spook? Oh, it was a spook. Okay, then you guaranteed Child on the next 5-star. Nice. So that's great then. Yeah. Personally, if I wanted Child, I wouldn't have risked it with Venti, but hey, it worked out for you because you built up your pity and you didn't get Venti. Which 4-stars did you get, by the way? Did you get any of the banner characters? I was really hoping for at least one Razor, and I would have loved any of the other 4-stars, but since I got Venti on my first 10 pull, I decided I'm gonna stop there for now. Hu Tao only 25k, but 60 crit rate, 180 crit damage. That's so huge. It's like, I think my best crit character is her, and it's only 165, right? I'd love to get that up higher, but, you know, RNG be RNG. 180 EM. You do almost 30k per charge attack. Wow. Damn. Yeah, and Hu Tao's all about her charge attacks once you use her E, right? Because that's the one that causes the enemy to get a flower, I think it's called, on them, which does like pyro damage over time. Yeah. Oh, you got 2 Sucrose. Nice. That's great. I love Sucrose. I would have loved more copies of her. I already have C3, And C4 all the way to C6 would have been great, but you know, she's good. Oh, and you got flute. I actually don't have a flute, so I don't know what that weapon does, but I mean it's a 4-star weapon, so it's nice. She's better than your Zhao with his burst, but by using her E. Wow. That's interesting, because yeah, it's almost like Zhao's burst and Hu
육지
Tao's
이렇게 오래 머무는 건
skill
간만인데.
are somewhat similar to each other, right? Because they both give you kind of a debuff for an effective attack buff in a way. But Zhao, you need his burst, which usually almost any character you can't use their burst as often as you can use their E. You want C6 Barbara, she can bring back dead. Yeah, I really would love to get C6 Barbara myself. I think mine is C1? No, C2. But I believe the rumors say that she is on the next banner. So I'm hoping that as I roll for Rosaria that I'll end up getting more copies of Barbara. I just really hope I don't get child. I hope whatever child wants to come my way goes your way, J6. I give all my child pulls to you. If I would, if I could. Uh, yeah, think nothing of it. Your Hu Tao isn't level 90. Oh, okay, with OK tier artifact. Not already level. Okay, yeah. I guess, yeah, that's another thing. For me, my Ganyu's artifacts, I think 2 of them are level 20, maybe 3, so I could. She still has a bit of potential to grow along with the levels. Oh, and it's skill level 6. C1 Child doesn't seem bad. I heard that Child of all 5-star characters tends to get quite a lot better with his constellations. Because he's a character who... Ooh, shit, he might die. He's a character who you want using his skill often because you want him to do melee, not arrow shots. But you can only do that using his E, and apparently his constellation helps lower the cooldown somewhat. Yeah, he's still one of the best DPS in the game. Yeah, I feel like he does kind of get a bad rap because he did get somewhat power crept by characters like Zhongli and Ganyu, but that doesn't change the fact that he's still super strong, right? As well as, and he also Hu Tao kind of power crept a lot of people. But from what I hear, what
보잘것없는 체주로
Hu Tao,
눈 크게 뜨고 잘
I don't know, Hu Tao might be more powerful than Ganyu, but I also hear Ganyu is more powerful. In the end, I don't think it really matters because they're both just crazy powerful. Yeah. C6 Child's Q can reset cooldown of his E. Oh, okay. Well, C6, unless you're a whale, and like a really big one, not just a regular whale. Not really something you can count on. Yeah, he's really fun to play. Yeah, and I imagine you can do shit tons of damage with him, especially with your Hu Tao, because you can get a vaporized comp going really well between those two. He did seem very fun to play when I played him in his story quest and trial quest. You're too broke to well? Yeah, I think that speaks for a lot of Genshin players, which I think that's fine. Me, I just don't like whaling. I actually kind of like the challenge of saving up and trying to deal
난
with
아직 몰라.
non-constellationed characters. Melee Child looks a lot like... Oh, looks a lot to Keqing, but he's probably stronger. Okay. Well, Keqing, yeah, I would imagine so, because Keqing, to be honest, isn't all that strong. She is a 5-star, and she's a legit good DPS 5-star. But there are a lot of very good DPS 5-stars. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to grab some more of my Venti latte. She's super strong. Yeah, I guess, yeah, to be fair, she is super strong. You're right, but there are others who are just even stronger. Yeah, so before I did my pulls, I went to Starbucks and got myself a Venti green tea latte. which I thought was fitting because a venti green tea latte is definitely venti, and it's definitely green, and that matches venti pretty well because venti's definitely venti, and he's definitely green. Abyss. Oh, you got 36 stars in Abyss. Nice, congrats. I don't actually. Maybe this time I might be able to get. I might be able to do more stars than I did last time at least. Who knows if I'll be able to do 36? I don't think so. But oh, you did rolled on top of Venti's statue. Nice. What I decided to do was throw Diona off the roof of one of the tallest buildings in Mondstadt, which was next to the statue. And the hope was that Venti, being an alcoholic, would be really, really wanting to save her. Now, sadly, he didn't manage to save her, by which I mean I failed to save her because I didn't activate her glider in time. But I guess it worked because Venti came. Yeah, sacrificing young maidens, indeed. Isn't that what. If civilization has taught us anything, that's how you appease the gods. Like Venti. Venti's a god, right? That's how you appease the gods. And he came home. There you go. It worked. But I didn't mean to sacrifice her. I wanted to save her. That was what Venti was supposed to do. All right, how many fragile resin do I have? One. And which one is more limiting for me now? Books or more books? I mean, it's both, but so what I'll do is I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna do one more run of each and then level up Venti up to as close to 60 as I can. Yeah, yeah, one isn't a lot. Started the stream with 5 and I used up 4 of them to, well, to farm ley lines so that I can level up Venti. Because right now all my resin is going into Venti until I get him at least up to, say, level 70, 70 out of 80, so I can unlock his final talent. And I want to get him at least, let's say 144 for now. I'll eventually get 146 because I think his Q is the one that I want to level up first. I want to get that up to, well, level 10 eventually, but at least to 6 to start. And you can see already right now what he's level 50. He's helping out because just for crowd control, you don't really need his skills per se, right? Or you don't really need his stats to be that high. You just need his talents to do the crowd control and to do the swirls. All right. So let's try this. And even though I do want to get good at counters, I am gonna take advantage of the burning grass when I get a chance. Because using the burning grass intelligently is also a part of the gameplay that I think is important to develop. It's just that in a lot of cases you just don't have burning grass available to work with, right? Especially the Spiral Abyss, which has no grass. Okay, let's J6, you're not really interested in the new leaked characters? Yeah, I'm kind of curious to find out more about both characters. I definitely think Eula is more attractive, but the other girl, I will say, is not bad at all. She looks very cute. Abyss hates nature, apparently. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Abyss isn't. You're going like underground, right? There's not a whole lot of sunlight underground, so it makes sense that there's no grass growing there, right? Although it would be neat if, oh, not this guy. If some of the Abyss had some nature elements. I really liked floor 12, the way the background looked. It looks really epic. Yeah, I'm not sure how to describe it other than epic. Like, there were these stars in the background, and Okay, I was curious about the music. I guess this guy took notice. Ah, pressed that way too early. Yeah, and 1.5, that's in 6 weeks, right? So it does look like the only two banners during 1.4, at least for the characters, will be Venti and Child. Which, not sure what to think. And actually, I think I'll do one more run of the books because, or actually, let me check what I can get here. Nice, okay. Eula is a serious opponent to Jean to be your number. Wait, I thought Ayaka was your number one Genshin waifu. But I mean, I hear you when it comes to Jean. But no? Okay. So Jean's number one and then it was Ayaka? Okay. It's Jean. Alright. So C1 child decreases cooldown of Z by 20%. Oh, okay. That sounds very similar to what's her name? Barbara. I think Barbara's C1. Oh no, it regenerates one energy, but C2 decreases the cooldown by 15%. I see. Aika was the future character you wanted most. I see. Okay. So I was confused there. Oh, yours is Lumine. Okay. Is that, do you call that self-cessed or is that masturbation? Unless you play as, what's his name? I don't even know the names of the main characters of the, no. Ether, yeah. I love, okay, yeah. Well, of course she loves her brother. Most people love their brothers, right? If they have one. And I'm sure the Ether loves Lumine too. Remember, this is a Chinese. This is Chinese, not Japanese. Just because they're brother and sister doesn't mean they're boning. The Ether seems like a strange name to you. Yeah, so their names are both sort of based on real things, right? Lumine definitely makes me think of light, luminescent, and Ether, well, refers to can refer to many things, but what I'm thinking is it probably refers to luminescent ether, which was a hypothesis physicists had, I think, in the early 20th century, maybe in the 19th century, about the medium through which light traveled, which got disproven by a pair of scientists named Michelson and Morley, who did an experiment where they sent light through a set of mirrors that proved conclusively that there was no medium through which light traveled because there was no interference between the light waves. So their names, I think, are both references to light in some ways. Okay, that was dumb. But, you know, I don't know if there's any deeper meaning than that. But neither are like normal names as far as I can tell. I'm doing that just to build up Bennett's queue. Yeah, yeah, if they didn't like each other, why would they search so hard? Right, exactly. They love each other. They're brother and sister. And I think they're supposed to be twins, not just brother and sister. So, you know, that's supposed to be the driving force of the story, but it's like every character that we run into that we ask for help, it's like, okay, we want you to help us first, and then we'll help you. And then we help them, and then they're like, okay, we'll help you next time. And then that's it. It's left on a cliffhanger. It's like Mona owes us a debt to help, I think. Keqing and Ningguang, and to be honest, like, all of Liyue and quite frankly all of Mondstadt too owe us big time. Did I do the dating thing yet? No, not yet. Not at all. I kind of wanted to do them on stream. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get to them tonight. I have to get off stream in about 10 to 15 minutes because I have to get back to work. I did have some downtime in between 5 and 6. Right now it's 5:50 for me. but I need to get back to work probably a little after 6, not much after. But I figured I wanted to pull on Venti as soon as possible because I was so excited. I really wanted Venti, and I was also excited to find out if I would get Jean. I think her talent, yes, her E is 6 right now. It's definitely one I want to get up, but you know how it is with the Mora. Yeah, and I have plenty of this material, and I don't think I have any other characters that I need who need that material, so I'm not really hurting in terms of materials. It's just the Mora. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. Nothing to apologize for. You haven't seen any wanted posters in Leo. Hey, good point. Don't Ningguang and Kaching basically run the place? What are they doing? Shouldn't they be helping us out? Like we did some pretty heavy important stuff for them. Okay, so let me see how much I can level him up. Yeah, I need more Mora definitely. 1000 17 Mora. Let's see. I don't think I have any real quick sort of. Alright, fuck it. Yeah, we helped save Liyue Harbor. Exactly. Yeah, in terms of quick sources of Mora, I could always exchange my sigils and such, but kind of want to save them for when I get Jean. But then again, by the time Jean comes out, I might have sigils from a new land. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, J6 actually, I don't remember. Did you say you did any of the dating quests? I've I noticed I watched some streamers start doing some dating quests and such, but I didn't actually watch through any of them, so I don't know any spoilers. I don't care about spoilers really, but so I wasn't avoiding them on purpose or anything. I just didn't touch it really. You're the only one on Earth who prefers Barbara over Noelle? I don't think so. There are definitely some big Barbara fans out there. For instance, here I'll prove it to you that there are people who prefer Noelle over sorry, not that way. Who prefer Barbara over Noelle. Look at this. See, Noelle's here, and they're all like, "Hey, get away from me! I'm scared. I'm scared." Now Barbara comes here and does the exact same thing, and look how happy they are. Look how happy he is. He's so excited. Barbara gets them wet. And who doesn't like a girl who gets you wet? So there you go. Yeah. Oh yeah, Barbara fan club. Exactly. Barbara has a stalker who, yeah, not the best scenario, but that means there's some people who really really want her. So- oh, you watched what's her name? Angel Misa, I think her name, something like that. Yeah, she's really cute and she's great. Like I said, she streams like 8 to 10 hours a day, basically every day, as far as I can tell. And she does 2 streams, each one like 4 to 5 hours, I think. It's crazy how much work she puts in, because she's dancing for like almost half the time. And she plays Genshin, and she sometimes plays horror games, which are pretty fun to watch. Yeah, you never saw someone who prefers Barbara. Yeah. Yeah, 8 to 10 hours, right? To be fair, she doesn't do it all in a row, but still, that's easily a full day's work. You watched her play Genshin? Nice. Yeah, I like how she enjoys Genshin, but she's also very critical of it. She's like, when it gets boring, she's like, yeah, this game's boring. I want to play Monster Hunter instead. And also, I watched her a bit today doing Bennett's quest, and she was kind of bitching about Bennett. Well, bitching's not the right word to use. She was critical of Bennett. Bitching makes it sound like she was like overly critical, but I thought she was fair. She was like, Bennett is just way too unconfident and something. Like, I'm not attracted to him, which I guess that's fair. Oh, right. I accidentally put the budget version
뭘
of Venti
기다렸지?
onto that slot instead of the actual Venti. I'm so used to Sucrose being my only anima character, obviously besides her, but I don't really use her anymore. And where's
날 불러준 거야?
Bennett has his own cult among the players? Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I would consider myself part of the Bennett cult. I think he is. I don't know enough about the game to say for sure, but I feel like he is possibly the best 4-star in the game. He is he's certainly above average at everything he does among the 4-stars. I'm quite sure about that part. Healing, buffing, and even DPSing. The only thing he doesn't really do, I guess, is provide shields. But at all of those, he does them very well. Okay, so you know what? EULA released with 1.5. Yeah, oh yeah? Well, hey, the longer you have to wait, the more Primo Gems you'll get to save up, right? So be patient. 1.5 will be here in due time. It's coming. We all know when it's gonna come. We still got 6 weeks left. Let's enjoy 1.4 for now. We still got the Windbloom Festival, which hasn't started yet, right? So let's enjoy that for now. And then
눈 깜빡이지 말라고.
and then at 1.5, you can get your end user license agreement. Hopefully. But who knows? I think it might also be kind of funny. Sorry, Nat, but I do think it'll be funny if MiHoYo decides to punish the fan base for the leaks by delaying Eula for like a year or something. I don't think they would do that. That would be just way too trollish, but I think it'll be funny. I think it's highly unlikely. There's just way too much money to be made, especially if you consider how much they must have invested into building her, in designing her, and making her a character and all that, right?
함께 놀자.
But yeah, yeah, I did see that tweet, J6, that they were saying, yeah, we noticed the leaks and we're gonna be taking steps to prevent that. And I've heard that realistically, there's not too much they can do without also harming the ability for them to test. Because when you've got this complicated a game, this is a huge game and it's very complicated. Even before you consider the fact that it's a fully online game that is constantly in contact with its main servers. It's just got so many moving pieces that you got to test so many things, and when you do that, you need to test it with a lot of people in a lot of scenarios. And when you have a lot of people, you know what the saying is, right? Two people can keep a secret if one of them is dead. Well, you're gonna need more than two people, right? Yeah, that's true. It has been 6 months, and they didn't. Have they done nothing to stop the leaks? I certainly know they haven't succeeded in stopping leaks, or at least not that well, but I wonder if they have taken steps, and maybe they'll take more steps too, right? Yeah, I'm somewhat ambivalent about leaks. I like them. I like knowing what's coming up and everything, and I like getting excited for new upcoming characters. At the same time, I understand why MiHoYo wouldn't want leaks. I understand why any gacha game developer wouldn't want leaks. It does make a big difference, I'm sure, on their bottom line, because the more they can surprise you with a new character, the less likely people will have saved up. But it's yeah, it's like, yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's MiHoYo's fault. So I have to make sure that the new stuff doesn't literally break the game. Right, right. And also considering how they keep adding kind of new elements to the gameplay. Like with Zhao, his ability to jump higher. I mean, it's not that complex, right? Considering you already have a jump function in the game and everything. You just need to make it bigger when you activate his Q. But I'm sure there are underlying issues that are hard to predict that it could cause. I've certainly seen my fair share of bugs in the game, both in first hand and in like meme videos, which I quite enjoy. A lot of meme videos that show streamers doing funny things or experiencing funny bugs. And who knows what kind of abilities these next characters will have. Let's see. So the last two new characters were Zhao and Hu Tao. And I guess they each has kind of a new mechanic of hurting themselves. But I guess ultimately they probably don't add that much complexity to the game. I imagine Rosaria's skill of doing a backstab might be something to deal with, might be somewhat, might add some complexity that can be hard to deal with because you need to account for a lot of environmental variables, architecture, as well as the size of the enemy, the location of multiple enemies. Right? They said that the backstab won't work against big enemies, which makes sense to me. But when you have multiple small enemies, how does it work? And when you have one big enemy and multiple small enemies, how does it work? There's got to be a lot of testing they got to do to make it work, I'm sure. So I certainly don't envy them when it comes to wanting to keep all of it secret. So how much people were happy with 1.5? Oh, the 1.4. Really? Okay. Well, I think we still gotta wait. I think the jury's still a bit out on 1.4 because the main event stuff hasn't been released yet at all. And, yeah, we gotta find out more. But I think. Oh, yeah, 1.5. I also heard leaks about housing system. That seems super exciting. To be honest, besides the characters that got leaked, I think the housing system is the one that excites me the most. Because it always seemed to me that it would make a lot of sense for your character to have some sort of rental place or maybe even a bought house in at least one of the cities. And if you can just have a very basic decorating system and something like, and maybe even the ability to have your characters hang out in there. Oops. I think that would be really cool. So that I'm excited. Why is it not Mora for furniture? Oh yeah, that would make sense, right? If they had furniture vendors in the store shop in the cities that you could go to, and you could exchange furniture Mora for furniture. All right. So I'm just gonna kill this dude, and then I guess I'll end the stream here because I wanted to collect the Cecilias and kill this Ruin Guard because Ruin Guards do drop a decent amount of Mora, but I do have to get back to work. But anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you again, Nat and J6 for coming by and chatting. Really did enjoy this brief stream and really enjoyed getting Venti on 10 pulls. That, like I said, I'm not sure if I'll be pulling more for Venti. I think it might be worth it because I do have a lot of Primo Gem saved up. I'm just really worried about getting spooked and then having a guaranteed child if I get a 5-star the on his banner. Yeah, if you were Mihoyo, you'd do that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't exactly know how it would work. You have enough for 70 10 wishes? Wait, you have enough for 700 wishes? Or do you mean 70 wishes total? Because 700 is a crazy high amount. Yeah. Or you'll make announcements before the. That might be a solution, actually. That might be a solution. That's something that could work. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you have 70-10 wishes, I don't know how you
시간을
got that without
지체하면 일을
wailing
끝마치지
because,
못할
yeah.
거야.
Oh, you meant 7-10 wishes. Okay. Yeah, that means you're guaranteed a child when his banner drops, as long as you don't pull any more on Venti's banner. So good luck on that. By the time child drops, you'll definitely get more than even more. I'm sure you'll have at least 90 by that time. Yeah, you think you did 700 rolls total since you started Genshin. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you hadn't done that many even,
어,
because each roll is just so expensive and so hard to come by. But yeah, like I said, I do need to get back to work, so I'll call that a stream for now. Thank you again, and hope everyone has even better luck than I did, but at least as good luck as I did if you're pulling. And I hope RNG gods are with you. And good night, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.